Hey folks, welcome back. As you could see a few minutes ago, I've been busy. I've been trying to get an outfeed table built. And so this is what I came up with. Now these rollers here, I've had for quite some time. It's rather difficult to find these. And when you do find them, you really hold on to them. So I found them a while ago. I stashed them away knowing that maybe one day I'd use them. And today is the day. As you can see, they're 2 feet wide. They're in 10-foot sections. I don't know how many rollers are there, but there's quite a number of them. And so 2 sections together, that gives me 20 feet of total outfeed. Underneath of it, I had to come up with some sort of a support. These didn't come with metal legs or anything, so I built this out of wood. Those are 2x4s, 20 feet long, milled on the sawmill here behind me. And then I've got some bracing, as you can see underneath, to keep it nice and strong. Now, I've positioned this so that it's perfectly in line with my sawmill. We make our way down to the end, you'll see just that. And so if you look down there, that's exactly where the drag back fingers on the sawmill will drag the lumber to. And so that's the whole point of this. Now, this is just an idea I had. I've never had this in operation before. And so you're going to see for the very first time in just a minute whether this works or not. Now, there is a bit of landscaping here still to do. You saw me doing some of that. The hiccup here is there's a few stumps that I didn't know about. And so I'm going to have to get in here with the excavator or the stump grinder, take care of those. There's one right there, another right there, and there's one right there. Once those 3 are out of there, I can really set the grade. And my whole thinking of setting the grade lower was so that I could back up my trailer right to here. I want to have the trailer just below the height of this so that I can easily slide lumber off onto it, or even slab wood for that matter. But I can't do that with the stumps there, so that'll be coming out real soon. Now, in addition to the landscaping here, I've got a few trees to come out, but I'm hesitant to take those out until I know that this is going to work and how it's going to work best. For all I know, because this is an experiment, this could really not work at all, and then this will be a one and done. Install it, try it, back to the drawing board. But if it does work, I think this is a good low-cost solution. As you can tell with the rollers here, it frees up my hands. As the drag back fingers brings back slab wood and lumber, it can put it right onto the rollers, or I can help it with my hand, and then I don't have to deal with it immediately. I can continue cutting at least a little bit longer before I have to deal with it. Now, with these rollers here, I added this little filler piece, we'll call it, and this just spans the gap from that roller to that one. Now, if this doesn't work, my other idea was just to slide the whole rollers forward, and that way this roller would be like right there. I don't know if this will work, as I said, but we'll see. I also added this little piece of wood here, and this is just going to continue off here. So if the lumber or slab starts to drift my way, this will just recenter it slightly, keep it up onto the rollers. Now, in addition to what I was saying about the lumber coming here, I'm going to put the slab wood over there. At least that's my thought. And then what I'll do eventually, I'll come in with the log loader trailer, pick the slabs up as I have been, bundle them, and away they go. This side I'll be taking the lumber off the rollers right onto the trailer, hence why I want to drop the grade a bit, and then I can go stack the lumber or transport it where needed. Now, in a perfect world, you'll see up there where this is flat, there are options with my sawmill where you can get a powered conveyor. So conveyor belt up there, and I don't think that's going to happen in the near future. I'd certainly like it, but in that case, you could use one of your hydraulic functions here, drag the lumber back onto a powered outfeed table, and then the powered outfeed table could then have movement left or right. Obviously, that would be quite elaborate, and well, I think for a budget build, we'll call this will certainly fill the void. So we'll try it out, see if it works. If it doesn't, well, we'll go back to the drawing board. Here we go. Well, that's just one log down. You can see the slab wood's on that side. I had to push it there. The lumber's on this side on the trailer. And so that in itself is a win. One thing I'm noticing, this works well. There's no snags here. As stuff's dragged back, it goes right onto the roller table here, we'll call it. And so I guess that's a good thing, but I don't know if I like the layout quite yet. Obviously, those trees have to come down so I can park the trailer straight. And then it'll be a bit easier. You just roll stuff over the tires right onto the trailer. But even as it is now, having the lumber not drop down like this when it comes off the end roller is kind of nice, because I don't have to worry about holding the lumber, holding the slabs for fear that it's going to just fall down in the dirt. I can just sort of let it come back here, and when I'm done dealing with the sawmill, I deal with the lumber or the slab wood. Now obviously if I had another person here working with me, they would deal with the slab wood and the lumber while I keep cutting. But I don't think that's happening anytime soon, so I just got to get used to it. Now the slab wood, that's just one log. With multiple logs, as you've seen in the past, that piles up in a hurry. I got to make sure it doesn't get too close to the rollers. And so what I'm thinking, and this will be a bit of a brain scratcher for me for tonight, is put some kickers here, obviously on the other side. Something that as I push off the slab, it slides down so it's away a little bit from the base here. Now I got to get rid of the stump there and dig that out so it's further down, but that might be an idea. If I was getting real elaborate, I could have another trailer over there, but I think for now those kickers might be a good idea. Dig down the dirt so there's room for the slabs, and then obviously once I deal with the lumber, get it out of here. Once it's full, I come back with the log loader trailer, pick the slabs up, and away I go. That's just some out loud thinking here. Lots of figuring here still to do. Give me your 2 cents down below. Is this going to be a good upgrade, a time saver? Or did I just spend a bunch of time making a nice wooden frame for nothing? Anyways, that's going to do it for me here today. Make sure you come back next time. I'm sure I'll be back out here sawing. But first and foremost, I better go get some logs. And oh, don't forget, if you haven't done so already, give her the old like-a-roo, as I like to say. Make sure you subscribe. I'll see you next time.